If we were to map the major events of the year 2448, the year in which Bnei Yisrael departed from Egypt, and the first half of 2449, we would have the following. In Sivan 2448, we have Matan Torah, events recorded in Shmot, Perek 19, and Perek 24. Following Matan Torah, the oral component, Moshe goes up to Har Sinai to receive the Luchot. Meanwhile, the Bnei Yisrael create and worship the Egel HaZahav, and by Tammuz, 40 days later when Moshe returns, the first set of Luchot have been smashed. On Rosh Chodesh Elul, Moshe is called to Har Sinai to receive the second set of Luchot. 40 days later, on Tishrei the 10th, 2449, he returns with the Luchot. The entire sequence of the Egel HaZahav period is recorded in Shmot, Perek 32, 33, and 34. Approximately 6 months later, the Mishkan is erected, and an 8-day consecration period begins. The consecration of the Mishkan is recorded in Vayikra, Parshat Shmini. From Shmot 35 to Shmot 40, the end of Sefer Shmot, we have an account of the construction of the Mishkan and the Big Day Kahuna. We noted earlier there is a second series of text dealing with the instructions regarding the building of the Mishkan. Given the fact that Moshe left for the first set of 40 days right after Matan Torah, we would have to assume that the instructions regarding the Mishkan were given no earlier than his return from Har Sinai with the second set of Luchot, Tishrei 2449. In reality, the command to build the Mishkan and the details of the Mishkan are to be found in Parashat Truma Tetzaveh, Shmot 25 to Shmot 31. On account of this, Rashi argues that here we apply the rule of Ein Mukdam Mu'ucha B'Torah. The command to construct the Mishkan took place in actuality after Moshe's return with the second set of Luchot, but for whatever the reason was placed before the narrative regarding the Egel. Others, such as the Ibn Ezra and the Ramban, do not apply the Ein Mukdam Mu'ucha B'Torah rule to this situation. They maintain that the command to build the Mishkan and to fabricate the Big Day Kahuna was given to Moshe during the first 40 days, prior to Moshe's return and smashing of the Luchot. The word Mishkan can be linked to the Shoresh Shin Chaf Nun, to settle down, to live, to inhabit. And the use of the Shin Chaf Nun as a verb brackets the set of commands relating to the making of the Mishkan. In Shmot 25:8, God tells Moshe that V'asu li mikdash. They, the people, are to make a mikdash, a sanctuary, a place of holiness for me, V'shachanati betocham. And I will dwell, I will rest, I will make my presence available to be amongst them, hence the term Shekhinah, as a descriptive of God as he dwells amongst the people. Similarly, in Shmot 29:45, Hashem states, V'shachanti betoch b'nei Yisrael, I will dwell amongst the Bnei Yisrael, v'hayiti lahem le'elohim, and in doing so, this will enable me to be a God to them. Which brings us to question 2, one that reinforces the first question, namely that in the view of Chazal, the term Shekhinah is linked to the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu amongst his people. Why is it then that Rashi, in explaining the double Mishkan, draws upon a Medrash Tanchuma that links the word Mishkan to the Churban and subsequent removal of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence from Bnei Yisrael? In other words, if one must provide an explanation for the double Mishkan by linking it to the Batei Mikdash, the concept of V'shachanti betocham, the presence of God, would have been more preferable, simply because that is how Chazal interpret the concept of Mishkan and Shekhinah.